Showing too many error messages can be a user experience flaw. Here's what to do instead. Something that gets forgotten about quite a bit is how hostile an environment it is when you deploy an app or use a website on something as simple as a mobile phone. It's pretty much the most hostile environment that something can run in. Of course, we can't expect things to work 100% of the time in these kinds of environments, and if we do, we'll cause a lot of angst amongst our user base. Sometimes we'll try and do something within our app and we'll try to do it won't work out, and then we'll throw an error or present a dialogue to the user saying that didn't work out and we're sorry. But if we take a minute to think about what we're doing, is that really the right thing to do? Well, possibly no. If the user has tried to do something on their device and it hasn't worked, their internet's dropped out for example, has their intent changed? Do they suddenly not want to do that thing anymore because they've experienced a momentary loss in connectivity? Well, of course not. They probably still want to post the thing or look at whatever or do whatever it is they were trying to do before they got that error, right? And for good user experience and good design, it makes more sense to just try that same request again and to update the user on how it's going. But then we get into a question about how often should we try again? Well, sometimes it's as simple as the fact that their internet has dropped out or they're affected by some transient event, in which case these requests will probably work the second time around. But if something's gone critically wrong on our server or in our database, or our app is having problems, and all of these apps line up to just try again and again and again, then all of these requests suddenly could make a bad problem worse, as repeated requests pummel the service that's already having problems. That's why we should use a technique like exponential backoff to time when we retry our requests. Basically, it means that instead of having that request try again every second after, for instance, it would try again at 2 seconds, 4 seconds, and then 8 seconds later. And then, if it doesn't work after the third try, we've waited a full 16 seconds for whatever the problem is to resolve. And it hasn't, so it could be something bigger. And if we continue to send them, then they're probably not going to get the user what they're after at that point in time. If the problem is happening because we're hitting the server too often and we're getting something like a 429 response for too many requests, then we also need to ensure that subsequent requests don't exceed a certain amount of requests over a period of time. This is to give an appropriate recovery time frame for whatever it is that we're accessing to get caught up and to have less chance of service degradation. If our user is trying to open something or go to a certain page and we have cached data for that page, it's probably okay to show that while we're waiting for the original data to get loaded from the server. And of course, tell the user that it's cached data and identify that background requests to fetch the fresh data are still ongoing. Of course, the reason for any of these failures should be appropriately logged and sent to your error logging solution of choice for investigation and possible resolution in the future. How do you handle request failures? Do you use exponential backoff or some other technique? Well, be sure to let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to LogRocket for more tips and tricks on user experience and user design.